fixed. Let's see. So the sound should be fixed now. Yeah, if y'all can hear me now, let's see, just let me know, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Let's see, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2. Okay, how about now? Can you hear me now? Everyone should be able to hear me. Oh, it's on. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, just working on this live broadcasting stuff. Okay, good. I had a setting. Now the true test is going to be if you'll be able to hear me when I switch to, let's see, working now. Okay, you can hear me. How about when I step over here? Can you still hear me, or am I getting muffled? Am I a little bit muffled when I'm over here? I bet I am. I need to adjust my mic. Yeah. Okay, so I'm muffled over there. I've determined that aside from phone calls, these earbuds are pretty much useless. So they're great, but using them for a microphone is not a good use case for them. So I'm going to put these back in their case, and then I'm going to move this mic so you can hear me. Okay, you probably heard an echo. Echo should be gone, and obviously I'm gone. Okay. Keep Spray says he can hear me. Go1, yep, working now. Good deal. Now what I got to do is figure out how to move this microphone closer to the action here. So, yeah, let's see. So, still should be loud and clear. The problem is getting this closer, but not disconnecting. I should have gotten a longer cable, and I've ordered one, but I don't have the longer cable yet. So I'm always kind of having technical difficulties in the studio. So I'm gonna set something up here where I can get closer, and hopefully this won't disconnect anything. Whoa, that cable's too short. I'm gonna move this as close as I can. Okay, can you still hear me? Okay. We can hear you fine the other way. Okay. So, now the real test is, can you hear me now? Am I too muffled? Am I a little bit muffled? I'm going to optimize the studio setup, but do I sound loud enough, or do I need to bump the volume up? Or can you hear me? Let's see. I'm tuning into my chat right now. Obviously, this is a live show. If you're watching this at approximately 8 p.m. New York City time, this is a live show, so anything that you type we can see. Okay, so can everyone... do I sound loud enough? Yeah, okay. Good deal, I can hear it. Or can you hear me? Okay, so we got the audio issue resolved. Audio, obviously, is something I'll constantly be improving upon. The first time was fine. Okay, so unless you're living, unless you're living in the total dark, today is New Year's Eve, which means that it's the last day of 2019. So to celebrate the last day of 2019, I just wanted to do a live show. There's a lot of in 2020 we're going to have all kinds of new adventures. One of the biggest things that's going to occur here on IrixGuy's Adventure Channel is going to be a lot of backpacking the Appalachian Trail, United States, all the way up to Maine, which is the northeastern part. So that's going to be really cool. Dronalton says, LOL, still in 2019. We're a year in front of you. You must be in Brisbane or Sydney or New Zealand or somewhere over there. That's pretty cool, man. Well, hello from the past, because I am coming at you from 2019. New York City. So with that being the case, thank y'all for tuning in. We got a ton of people coming in. Want to remind everyone I am an independent YouTuber, so your super chats are not required, but your super chats are tremendously appreciated if you choose to do so. So Oslo, Norway. Norway, very cool stuff. That's a place I want to go. I know it's super cold there, but what I'd like to do is go over there and go skiing, and also do some mountaineering, because I mean that is a place that is on my Norway is on my radar. Sweden and what's that other? Norway, Sweden, Iceland. Those three places for colder place. I want to go there, and we've got Kipe Aloha from Oahu. From Hawaii rather. Welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. I wish I was in Hawaii. Hawaii is a great place with great food, and it's a long flight though. Honolulu, Hawaii, big wave season now. Very cool. Yeah, man. I'm not a surfer because I don't really have that great a balance, but I tried, and one of the things I remember what was cool, and it was pretty idiot proof, was getting on the outrigger canoes at in front of Diamond Head on Waikiki Beach and riding those outrigger canoes to shore. That didn't require a lot of skill. We got John here from the UK, the United Kingdom. That's on the other side of the pond. Welcome aboard. We've got Norway, we've got Hawaii, we've got United Kingdom. I mean, we're hitting it from all over here. So, hope this audio is still good. I tell you, this studio, one of the biggest things for 2020, this studio is going to get major renovations. Not just the carpet. This carpet is in terrible shape, and it's going to be completely replaced. And then I'm going to put some acoustic padding, or acoustic foam rather, on the key surfaces of the wall to better enhance the audio quality. Luigi, welcome aboard, Luigi. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the live show. If you're watching this at approximately 8 p.m. New York City time, this is a live show. So, anything you type, I can see. Kipe says, I own a bar overlooking beaches on the west side of Oahu. Now, that is super awesome. Drolta says, just a tip from Scandinavian who has been both places. Sweden's nature is not even close to as beautiful as Norway. Trust me. I'll remember that. Now, I'm married, but before I was married, I met this girl that was from Sweden, and she was really cool. I met her in Mexico. She was really cool. Cool accent. Very cool accent. So, let's see here. It's not going to be New Year's without a ball drop. So, we gotta watch the ball drop. And the ball can't drop yet, but the ball is at least here. It's a very cool ball. It is the New Year's ball drop. But we've still got, 9, 10, 11, 12. We still got 4 hours before the ball drops in New York City on the east coast of the United States of America. So, yeah, Mexico is pretty cool. I like Mexico, but I haven't been to Mexico. Let's see, when was I there? I was there in 1999. I was in Mexico. I was in Cozumel. I was staying at this all-inclusive resort, and I broke every bone in my right hand before I went. So I was in a cast and everything. But the cool thing about that was when you're in Mexico and you're at an all-inclusive resort and you're injured and you've got a cast on your arm, man, so many women. I mean, I was a stud that week, but the problem is that that was a long time ago. It was fun though, but Yeah, when you said Sweden, that's the thing I remember. I mean, out of all the girls I met in Mexico in 1999, the girl from Sweden was awesome, and she she was talking about eating reindeer. I mean, nothing. That I just thought it was funny that she said she eats reindeer, which I'm sure reindeer is probably like steak in the United States. But yeah, she was about a 10 out of 10. No, well, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, I would say. But she was from Sweden. I never will forget her. 1999, Mexico. Dronalton. I was in Isla Holbox and Cancun. Oh, cool. Yeah, Cancun and Cozumel just, right there together. I tell you though, it's if you're not careful in Mexico now, Mexico can be a very dangerous place nowadays. And but yeah, I mean, it's a place I'd like to go back. Really, where I want to go is Belize, which is not Mexico, but it's in Latin America. That looks like a really cool place. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? If you've got an Amazon device, you may want to cover your ears. Alexa, turn green screen on. Here, got to get my lights. Get my lights. Okay, we are spot on. It's getting a little bit chilly out here. Standing out here waiting on this ball to drop. To put on my vest. And why? But now I cover up my shirt though, so I'd rather be cold and let y'all see this awesome IrixGuy's Adventure Channel T-shirt. So I may take this vest off. I like vest. I like layers. It gets to be a pain. Jonathan says, "Trust me, bro. Norwegian girls are way more beautiful than Swedish." Okay, I'll take your word on that. Let's see here. So, you can see it's pretty packed out. I mean, we've got people all over the street. It's awesome stuff. Drinking some quality H2O. So what do y'all have on the radar for 2020? Anything exciting, or just a continuation of 2019? Oh man, we got people coming in here. People coming in from all over the world. All over the world. And this obviously, if if the little graphic doesn't tell you, this is the New Year's Eve live show on IrixGuy's Adventure Channel. So, want to let y'all know this is a live show. If you're watching it at approximately 8:06 p.m. New York City time, this is a live show. So anything that you type within the video's comment area, I can see in real time. So, okay, we got more folks tuning in here. It's going to be a big event. Very big, big, big. So let's see, and I'm mixing this up a little bit. I'm using my iPhone. Hello from Ireland. Now we got Ireland in here. This is like European and Hawaiian New Year's. This is very cool. Jonathan says, also really recommend Sri Lanka. By the way, since you like traveling, came back from Sri Lanka for the second time, and the country is amazing. Nice people and beautiful drone nature. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I need to. Sri Lanka would be very cool. Speaking of drones, all of this stuff in the news, and I typically don't talk political stuff, but since it's related to drones, all these enhancements that they're proposing for drone safety. I mean, I'm the drone evangelist, and I'm pro drone safety. However, what are y'all's thoughts about all of these new proposed drone regulations? Is it going to become so difficult to fly that it's not worth it, or do you think it's a good thing that's going to make the skies safer and make government or whatever better understanding of what we're doing with drones? I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm not one to be pro regulation of any sorts, because when things become, there's a fine line between safety and over-regulation. And what often happens, whether in this scenario it's drones, but whatever the subject matter may be, when over-regulation comes into play, and they try to spin it as, oh, it's going to make things safer, and blah blah blah. The reality is that how many times, think about anything when something has become regulated. How many times do you see those regulations removed? I mean, once something becomes regulated, it often just becomes more heavily and more heavily regulated. So it's a slippery slope, and that's what I'm worried about with drones. If they start to add law 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and it just keeps compounding, at what point does it become a major issue? And and that's the thing with regulation. I mean, I don't. They'll spin it however they want to spin it and say, regulations are out here to protect us. But what you probably want to do is, and I don't know. Drolton says, I was going to fly my drone in Sri Lanka this time, but because of the terrorist attack in April, they are very strict and drones are banned at the moment, but they will unban it eventually. Yeah, that's kind of scary. And the scary part about that too is that, if you're flying, and especially if you're not on your home turf, and you don't really know who's who and they don't know you, you could unintentionally put yourself in a very awkward situation. I mean, say hypothetically something very bad had happened in that location, and then you're a guy out there with a drone. People may be looking at you like, who's this guy? It's kind of scary to think about that. But yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, it's what's interesting in New York. In New York tonight, they've got drones, not consumer drone. I mean, not civilian drones, but government drones. They've got drones hovering all over to keep things safe, which I think that's a good use case for a drone is safety. But again, if they're abused, if there's abuse of power, these things can become. Drolton says you can go to prison there for flying illegally. Yeah, talk about a vacation gone bad. If you were in Sri Lanka and all of a sudden you got arrested, that Sri Lankan vacation has become a prison vacation. That would not be fun. And that's the scary part. I mean, and that's when you're flying a drone, especially if you're not flying it in your home country, always be aware of check what's going on in the news, check with the local government, see if there's any regulations that may prohibit you from flying, because the thing is the ignorant tourist card, that can only be played so much, because it doesn't matter where you are, authorities will probably pick up on, well, that guy's just lying, he knew this, that, and the other. So it's hold on 1 second here. 1 second, everyone. Okay, I'm back. I got pulled away. It's a busy place. People coming up and grabbing me for stuff. So, Dronton says, by the way, do you make any money from your cat video with 2.9 million video views? Not enough. And that's the thing with YouTube. You've got to, and this will be part of the, I don't know if y'all were on for the last live show where I introduced this, but I'm going to be doing a webinar, and it's going to be a YouTube webinar. So you can watch, if you want to watch them, my live webinars, and I'm not going to charge admission. You know, a lot of webinars they charge admission, but it'll be a situation where you'll be encouraged, if you choose to do so. You know, if you feel the information is of value, you can choose to support my channel on Patreon, or you can super chat, or do both. So, you know, there's YouTube itself is an opportunity, but YouTube itself is not let's put it this way, regardless of how large a channel is. Now, there are some exceptions. I mean, you're looking at, you know, channels like Casey Neistat and what's her name, Jenna Marbles, and, you know, some of the big, insert huge YouTuber here. Those folks are making a few $1 million a year, a few $1 million US a year. So, you know, even if they didn't have other monetized ventures, those people would be doing pretty well financially just from YouTube alone. So, you know, it is a financial opportunity for people that are willing to invest the creative energy, willing to invest a reasonable amount of time, and it doesn't have to be a lot of time. And this is, I'll go into a little bit of it tonight, just kind of give you all a teaser for the upcoming webinar, the YouTube webinar, and it's just it's a lot of YouTube. There's different types of YouTubers. There's YouTubers that they're just doing it because they're having fun posting videos. And then there's people that are, Drolton says you need to add ads on vids to make more cash. Yeah, now I'm very careful about, and obviously for my videos, I do monetize with AdSense, but that's something that's hands off. You know, I don't have to place the ads. Google controls placement of the ads. What I'm careful about, because I get approached a lot, not just by companies, but by multi-channel networks want me to partner up, this, that, and the other. I'm very careful when it comes to any sort of professional relationship with a brand. A lot of YouTubers aren't. You know, here's my thoughts are this: if I accept something from one brand, then it gets kind of mucky when another brand comes along, or, you know, when a brand approaches me. And that's why I don't do brand deals, because I don't want to have, in my videos, which I've got a very heavy drone review component, I don't want to have any sort of bias. So, you know, if I did brand deals and whatever brand came to me and, you know, said, we want you to review this product or whatever, then I personally don't feel that's fair, because I'm reviewing something. Obviously, I would share my honest opinion, but what I review is what I want to buy what I review, and then that way I don't have any commitment to say, hey, it's great, or hey, it's awful, or, you know, whatever. I can just speak the truth, and that's why. But as far as my monetization strategy is concerned, to your point, you've got to. You don't have to, but if you want to make money, you know, most people that are doing YouTube, it's not just out of the goodness of their heart. It's something you should enjoy, because the people that don't enjoy it, even if they have very deep pockets as far as, you know, purchasing equipment, travel expenses, all of that's concerned, if they're not really passionate about YouTube, it's probably going to show within their videos, and it's probably going to make their videos not that exciting for viewers to watch. So you should be passionate about it. And again, all this is stuff that I will go into a great amount of depth within the upcoming webinar series in 2020. But, you know, the main thing is have fun. Dale CH, Happy New Year from the United Kingdom, 120. Okay, so he's from the UK also, and it's 2020 already. Here in New York City, it is 8:21, 8:21 in the PM. So, you know, we got a little bit more time before that ball drops. Before the ball drops, we got a little bit more time. So, yeah, but it's YouTube is fun, and you don't have to get in with a big budget. A smartphone will work. Starting out, you know, smartphone's audio is pretty decent. You know, it doesn't have to be high end gear, but you know, the strategy that I've taken is that as my channel's grown, I've continued to invest more heavily in high end, not high end. High end is a word you got to use very cautiously. When I say high end, I'm talking about high end cameras for me. In the world of professional video, my definition of high end is probably entry level. You know, when you're dealing with something like a huge, network TV channel or whatever. You know, but the thing is, the cameras that I use, a lot of these big TV networks, especially like Discovery Channel and History and those sorts of channels, the ones where they're out in the field and they're, you know, the survival shows and that sort of stuff, a lot of those shows are using some of the same cameras that I use, which is pretty cool. You know, so that, you know, that's a reminder that, you know, hey, I've grown to at least an acceptable level. You know, the cameras that I'm using are not low end, but it's it's something, again, I didn't start out with the higher end cameras. You know, I started out with the little super cheap point and shoot camera that also did video and smartphones. So, you know, Happy New Year, Dale. Thanks for tuning in, dude. We got Droneton. I got to go now, bro. It's 2:22 at night. Man, that is late or early, however you choose to look at it. So, yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. We got more folks coming in. Hopefully we'll get, we got Hawaii. We got a bunch of people from Europe. We've had Norway, United Kingdom. We've had Hawaii. What was the other place? Ireland? Scotland. Yeah, I mean, we've got a very large crowd here. And I see more people tuning in. I'm looking over there at my studio monitors. I can see people tuning in. And by the way, if y'all want to super chat, you can click that super chat. Great way to support the channel. New Year's Eve, 2019. It is 2019. We got crew from England. We got England here. Oh, cool. Man, we got a ton of people tuning in. So, hope the audio is still good and the video quality. Oh, from Washington State. That's a cool place, man. I remember I flew into Seattle, and I landed a plane in Seattle, and then a short flight from there up to Vancouver. And that's an awesome area, man. The trees, you got all of those, what they call the hemlocks, the fir trees. Those look super cool. You got mountains, you got snow. You've got great seafood, awesome craft beer. The beer up there in the Northwest is super good. It's just that's an awesome place to be, man. Washington State, the Northwest. Okay, so we've got a very international crowd here, as expected. Just super cool. The setup, Happy New Year. I know the setup. The setup is from Hawaii, right? Hawaii. Did I get that wrong? Pretty sure. Spokane, Washington. Yep. Sometimes New Year's is best just to do a YouTube live stream because number one, it's gotten you get out in the streets on New Year's and it can be sketchy. There's a lot of crime nowadays, unfortunately, and it's just I was like, go out and party on New Year's Eve and spend money, or how about just do a live show and hopefully make some money, and then invest that money and better further improve the channel. So that's my New Year's Eve. The setup's from Ohio, and Crew says Washington is home of the Zags. Washington is home of the Zags. Super duper cool. Remind everyone, you got that little. It's down there in the little comment section, the super chat. If y'all want to do that, it's a cool way to support the channel. Number 1 in the nation. Oh, speaking of swag, we gotta pop this up here. Let's see. I gotta pop up my swag. Let's see. Boom. Should pop up there in a second. That is the official IrixGuy Adventure Channel t-shirt. And you could also just go to Amazon.com if you chose to do so and search for IrixGuy. And you can find IrixGuy's t-shirts. Something I'm going to do for 2020, I'm going to expand beyond the t-shirts, which have, by the way, have been a very strong seller. I appreciate everyone that's picked up a t-shirt already. And Crew says, I am a camera operator for the game. Very cool. Now that would be a fun job because you get to go out, you mess with cameras and audio, and my audio right now is probably on the edge. I've got a cord that's 3 feet too short. So I've got my really nice mic. If I come over here, the volume's probably a lot better. But I've got a really nice mic, and it's when I get that longer cord. Yeah, man. The setup says, I love the green screen. Thank you. And this green screen has been, as y'all, if y'all have watched this channel a while, it's been a constant work in progress. And, a lot of the challenge is, hold on, folks. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I'm going to be off the set for just a minute here. But I'm here. I'm just in a different area. Best seat in the house, right under the basket. Yeah, this green screen has been a constant work in progress. Let's see. So, what's everybody got on the agenda for 2020? Okay. So, what? So crew for the camera operator. Do y'all use like a big? Is it like an Alexa camera or what type of camera do y'all use for that situation? Any thoughts on Slang Studio? What is now? This is you threw a new one my way. I watch Sling TV for my cheap I don't watch a lot of television. Sling Studio. That's oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah, and they just actually Sling just added because they emailed me about it. They just added a what's the word for it? Well, the monthly plan went up by $1 or so, but they added more channels, and then I think the DVR got a little enhancement as well. Oh, so you're streaming. So you're using Sling Studio to for the sports. That is cool. Oh yeah. I'm going to be coming back on the set here in a minute. Had to step off the set. There's a lot of people out here in the crowd, so got to make my rounds if you know what I mean. Chat everybody up. Yep. We are. It's 8:33 p.m. New York City time. So we are getting close. It's a little bit over 3 hours away, which isn't bad. Not bad at all. So it's let's see. Got people here in the crowd. Crew says the setup says LOL mingle. Oh yeah. And Crew says yes, you should check it out. The Sling Studio is used at the high schools for streaming. Oh, very cool. Gotcha, like high school sports and that sort of stuff. I'm using, and it's, as I've started to learn it better, I've really enjoyed it. I'm using Wirecast. My only complaint with Wirecast is that, not having a large budget. I found that Wirecast is, what's the word for it? Having to renew annually is becomes kind of expensive. But then again, if I didn't use Wirecast, I wouldn't have all the features like I've got with the live chroma key. I mean, I'm impressed. What is Sling Studio something that's somewhat economical, or is it geared more towards large companies and institutions as far as pricing is concerned? Wi-Fi camera switched on an iPad. Oh, very cool. Hmm. Green screen too. No fees. Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out, man. That's it's something I wasn't even aware of. Lots of informational videos. Oh, very cool. Super duper cool. About a 1,500 initial investment. You know that to look at that, look at the number 1,500. One might think, oh, that's expensive, but in reality, when you think about cameras and lenses and all that good stuff, I mean, 1,500 that's not bad. So is there after that initial approximate 15, is that pretty much buy it and then you're done? The hub and camera transmitters works with HDMI out. Also can use smartphones. So could I use my Sony Alpha, Sony A7R4? It has an HDMI out. Could I use my A7R4 for live broadcasting? Man, now I'm excited. You've already planted an idea in my mind for 2020 because I like tinkering with new stuff, and that's something that I can tinker with. And have you been using Sling Studio? Something I've been really, but the the Amazon Echoes. Am I trying to say you're? How have you ever used Wirecast? I'm just as far because it took me a while to figure it out with Wirecast, but I mean, ultimately, if you know video editing and then you know one live streaming product, if you know up to 10 camera inputs, man, that 10. I can't imagine, man. You know what I could do here in this studio? I could have multiple cameras. I could have my studio set, and then I could have the workstation where I'm sitting behind the computer. Content when you've got that many cameras concurrently, I mean that's a game changer. It really is. So you said it'll stream to YouTube or Facebook. Whoa. Yeah. I wonder if they have like a free trial where I could try it out. Or is my only investment really going to be the hardware? That is super cool, man. Now you've turned me on to something new and learn about things that you didn't know existed. And I mean, honestly, crew, I had no idea that a product called Sling Studio existed, but now I do, and now I am super excited. I used to use back in the old day. I used some Blackmagic tools, and they got really good products. But okay, can't wait. What's the word for it? Well, it's something new, you know. Yeah, and user friendly. And and I didn't ask this. Does it run on a Mac? Mac only. Very cool. Yeah, and that's one thing. I'm running one of the things that I've enjoyed. I upgraded, and this was a while back, but upgraded. I used to run an iMac and then also run a a MacBook or a MacBook Air, and then I had a MacBook Pro, kind of lower end. Now I'm one computer and I'm MacBook Pro only, but it's pretty well spec'd out. I've got the i9. I don't have that much memory. I've got a 16 gig, which is sufficient, I think, for most applications. That's where I'm running this from right now. Is this i9 with 16 gigs of memory, and then for the flash, internal flash, I've just got 512, but I've got a lot of large external hard drives, large capacity external hard drives that I use for storing, and I just use the internal flash for speed, and then I've got a cheap 512 SSD that's USB-C that I use for speed for editing. It's kind of my scratch disk, and then I've got a 14 terabyte external hard drive, mechanical drive for long-term storage, and I use a cloud backup to keep all my video projects backed up. So, man, I'm excited. No, I know I'm going to be excited, and I mean I know I'm going to be impressed. Renew my Wirecast, and that's kind of. I mean, I don't want to sound cheap, but you know, I want to keep. I run a lean operation here. You know, I want to keep everything as cheap as possible, but still YouTube channel. So, you know, what you see here is you know, it is going down. Woohoo! Ha ha ha! Okay, we got some fun stuff about to come here. Let me know. I'm going to task myself with this Sling Studio product. I may try it out as early to get HDMI. Well, I guess I could use it as a preliminary test. I've got a nice USB-C webcam. I've got the Logitech Brio, and it's what's the word for it? It's good quality. I mean, that's the camera that I'm using now, and I'm about to step back in front. Jamie, welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. I'll be right back. Several things. Over there on the camera. Okay. $8.53. It is face. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh man, I'm already getting excited. The box looks nice. Sling Studio Hub. Wow. To enjoy that. Okay, let me get back on the camera. So, and see here. Okay, here we go. There it is. Back up. Okay, everybody, I'm back. So, again, the ball drop. Ball drop. Yep, got the ball. So it is ready to drop. Is YouTube your full-time job? Well, I do several things. One of the things about being an entrepreneur is that one thing is not enough. And the way that I like to explain it, there's a difference. Here's the thing. There's a difference between being a workaholic and being an entrepreneur. And the differentiating factor is that if you're an entrepreneur and you're a successful entrepreneur, you enjoy doing what you're doing. So even if if there may be a false perception that you're a workaholic, the reality is that you're not. Because what you're doing as an entrepreneur is you're tasking yourself with multiple concurrent pursuits that are entertaining. Now, it's not just entertainment that's important. Now, keep in mind that, I use that word, Afik. Happy New Year to you too, man. Happy New Year. Welcome aboard. I use that term, entertainment, very cautiously because entertainment, to a lot of people, implies laziness. But if you think of entertainment, if you can, here's the thing. Here's a challenge for entrepreneurs. If you can intertwine entertainment, success, knowledge, wealth, if you can put it all together and you can successfully intertwine all that, what you can create is something that's not only enjoyable, but something that is also let's say, an enabler. It enables one to do things that if they didn't have all this stuff interconnected, they may not be able to do. So everything that I do, not everything that I do, but most everything that I do is geared towards growth. Now, growth can be financial growth, it can be knowledge growth, it can be any sort of growth that interests you. Why do you want to grow? I mean, ultimately, regardless of what the pursuit is, whether it's a professional pursuit, whether it's a hobby or whatever, someone's probably not going to invest time and energy into something that provides no sort of growth. Whether it's financial growth, entertainment value, that's a form of growth. Knowledge is another form of growth, another thing that can be grown. So, there's a lot of complexities to this. Larry, welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. But, to answer your question, Jamie, YouTube is not my full-time gig. And the reason YouTube is not my full-time gig is that, number one, YouTube alone doesn't generate enough money for me. And it's something that I'm definitely proactively working to continue to grow. And, one of my goals for 2020 is to break through 100,000 subscribers and then go some more. I mean, this year I achieved a significant milestone of 50 million video views. Now, when I hit 100 million video views, I get to open that bottle of Bermudian rum that I got from the Gosling Estate Family Reserve in Bermuda, and that's going to be a celebratory item when I hit 100 million views. But the other goal that I want to achieve, and I want to achieve it during 2020, is 100,000 subscribers. And the reason I want to achieve 100,000 subscribers as quickly as possible is because when I do that, I should receive, they call it the silver play button. It's a trophy from YouTube that basically says, hey, you've hit 100,000 subscribers. You're growing. So that's important. It's important to have those material reminders of growth. Because 100,000 subscribers on YouTube is a significant milestone. Now, obviously, it's not the end. It's not even close to the end. I mean, there's channels out there that have millions of subscribers. So, right now, barely being at 71,000, being at 71,000 subscribers now is not big. So, there's a lot of upward potential here, and it's just, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes y'all, viewers. This is not something that can be accomplished without support from viewers. Jamie says, awesome, you can make a good living doing things you love and having fun at the same time. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. And that's the thing, tonight was a decision. It's like, well, it's New Year's Eve. It's one of those times, you can easily go out and get wasted and this, that, and the other. But I have no desire to do that because I would rather do a live show and do something productive. Tonight already, I have learned of a new product, and it's called Slang Studio. I was unaware that existed, so now I'm super excited, and I've got something that's going to be fun, and it's going to, maybe it's even something I'll use to host my webinar that's coming up in 2020. So it's just, knowledge is a powerful thing, and it's not just, knowledge is not only power, but knowledge is something that creates excitement. And getting together here in this live forum, YouTube Live that we're doing right now, this is a great way to interact with people, and something I want to do very soon. And that's something hopefully that maybe the Slang Studio has a capability to do. I know Wirecast does. I haven't done it yet, but it's to get to bring other people face on camera into these live shows so we can make it more interactive. This is great, seeing all your comments right now. I got you on my iPhone. Dale says, Irix, what was your favorite piece of tech you reviewed during 2019? It's actually a very good question, and 2019. Well, and this is going to be an unexpected. This is going to be an unexpected answer, because one might assume that, being Epic Drone Show and 400 or below, that I may by default say, hey, it's the most exciting tech from 2019 was a drone. The Mavic Mini was very exciting. I've thoroughly enjoyed using the Mavic Mini, but the most exciting piece of tech from 2019 is what gave me this scar right here, all the way from there to there. And that exciting piece of tech was actually something I discovered out of anger, and I was furious. And I'm not going to insert the provider's name, but it was a satellite TV provider. And you probably guessed which one it may have been. There's not that many, but I'm one of these. I bundle, and bundling can be a good thing. Bundling can be the devil, because when you start to bundle and companies start to provide bundled services and they give you a discount for bundling, there's a flip side of that. And the flip side is often that if you break a bundle, that you're going to lose those discounts. And then if you break that, then you're probably going to be in a situation where you have to get a new term created for 1 year term, additional 2 years or whatever, and it's probably not going to be as low as it once was. So this is going to respond to your question, what was the most exciting tech that I reviewed during 2019? And again, that's what put this scar on my arm. So what happened was I got so mad, and I called my, it's cell phone, TV, and internet. I called that provider, and I just said, look, I said, can I speak with your customer retention department? Sure, they did this. They got me over there. I've been doing this with this provider for 5 or 6 years. Never failed. Sometimes there's a little bit more a little bit extra stiff negotiation required, but most of the time I would get what I wanted. This year I did not. Last year, 2019, I didn't get what I wanted from them, but I ended up getting something better than I wanted. So we'll get to that in a second. But so I called, and they said, "Oh, well, we don't have any bundles yet, but call back in a month or whatever, and see what our deals are then." Okay, so I called back. Called back as instructed, because I set a reminder on my iPhone for a month, and to the day that they said that they would have these bundles. Called back, "Well, sorry, sir, we don't have any more bundles." I said, "Well, you told me on this date to call back and you'd have bundles." "Well, we don't have any bundles." I said, "Okay, well, what can you do?" Anyway, they said, "Well, call back in a day." So I called back the next day, still no bundles. And then, at that point, I was irritated, and I was super irritated. And I said, "May I speak with a supervisor, please?" "Well, we don't have a supervisor." I said, "Do you work in a contact center?" He said, "Yes, we do." "Yes, I do." And I said, "Okay, well, if you work in a contact center, then you do have a supervisor." And they got very nasty with me, mean and nasty. And then I just said, "Look," I said, "cancel that." I said, "I'm not going to wait any longer." And then I tried to cancel. They said, "Well, we'll give you a free month if you stay with us." I said, "I don't want a free month." I said, "I want to get rid of this." I said, "You couldn't pay me to keep this satellite TV service." And they didn't like that. And then they said, "Well, if we cancel it today, it'll be a month before it's canceled." I said, "No." I said, "You will cancel it today." He said, "Well, you still owe us for a month." And then they started saying total gibberish and as to why they couldn't cancel it immediately. And I said, "This is unacceptable." And then they hung up on me. So, long story short, I called back, got a supervisor on the line, and explained how horrible that customer service experience was. Provided the timestamps of the call, the name of. Actually, I didn't have the name of the associate that I spoke with, but I had all the other information. And they pulled up the case notes and saw it, and they said, "Oh, no problem. We'll cancel it right now." They canceled it without any sort of haggling. They canceled it that day, and I didn't have to wait a month, which was ridiculous. I mean, they tried everything they could to rope me back in, and because their expectation is that they're going to that you're going to forget to call back, so then you're just going to be roped back into this monthly just stealing money, in my opinion. They're taking your money for satellite TV. I just hate it. And so anyway, got it canceled. But when I canceled it, now keep in mind I was bundling. So I was bundling TV, I was bundling internet, I was bundling cell phone. So now that the TV piece has been eliminated, see, they're nasty, they're mean, they're nasty. What they do, they say, "Well, you're only eligible for unlimited data if you have television service bundled with us as well," which is stupid. I wrote a very thorough letter, snail mail, not email, snail mail. Sent it to their corporate office, explained the horrible customer service experience, explained everything. Never got a response. But back to your question, what's the most exciting piece of tech that you reviewed during 2019? We're about to get to that. So I was so mad, furiously mad, furiously mad, that what I finally did is, well, I didn't have TV anymore. I mean, I had the physical sets on the walls, and I had the speakers and the remotes and all that. I said, "You know what I want to do? I want to see what I can get over the air." So I ordered probably 4 or 5 different antennas. Some of them were pure garbage. And during that process, I fell almost through the roof upstairs, mounting an antenna. And I had a nail. It wasn't a nail because I would have gotten a tetanus shot, but it was a big spiky splinter piece of wood. It just gashed me, and I was just gushing blood. And I will never forget the day that I got rid of the satellite dish. I've got this scar on my arm to remind me. But it led to the most exciting piece of tech for 2019, that piece of tech being free over-the-air HD TV. Again, it wasn't free. I bled a lot. I went through a lot of different antennas before I found one that worked for me. But what I've got now is an antenna. And you can check out my free HD TV playlist on my YouTube channel where you're watching this. And you can find it, but I'm using this antenna, and it is wonderful. Even during the rain, and sometimes it does get a little bit staticky if it's really windy, if it's really rainy. I'm not going to say it doesn't. But 90% of the time, it is rock solid. It's free. So that led to the piece of tech. So the tech that has excited me the most in 2019 is probably going to blow your mind. And that piece of tech that excited me the most during 2019 is Amazon Fire TV. And everybody out there is probably like, man, why is Amazon Fire TV so exciting? Here's why. So I took, and I don't have a lot of TVs. I'm not a big TV guy. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a busy dude. I don't have time to sit and watch TV. I got to go out and make money, hustle. I'm a hustler. But Fire TV is awesome because what I was able to do is inexpensively stick a little Fire TV stick in each of my TVs. I've got the Fire TV remote, which one of my TVs, or two of my TVs, I use this. I've got the Amazon Fire Stick 4K, which comes with the remote. If your TV has something called ARC, or they may call it CEC as well, you've got one remote. In my case, the Amazon Fire Stick 4K remote. I can turn the TV on and off. I can adjust the volume. Thanks to ARC, CEC, whatever you call it. When I adjust this on my main TV where I've got surround sound, it'll control the volume as well. One remote. And the best part is that this is the same remote on all my TVs. So I learned, the user experience is the same from TV 1, 2, or 3. And what makes it even better, again, the Amazon Fire Stick TV is my favorite tech. The 4K Fire Stick is my favorite tech from 2019. But I took it to the next level, and I mixed in the Amazon Fire TV Recast. And you probably haven't even heard of that because you probably haven't dabbled with free over-the-air HD TV. But what Amazon Fire TV Recast does, it marries with the Fire Sticks. And it creates a DVR with a guide for your free over-the-air HD TV. So all the channels that are coming in for free over the air with my HD TV antenna, all of those channels, I have the ability to view the guide just like I would with a traditional satellite or cable TV service. I've got the DVR, don't have to pay a subscription for the DVR, and I can access that from any of my TVs with the Fire TV remote, which is the same. Again, I got two Fire Stick 4Ks, and then actually in my main room, I bought it on the cheap, man. I got the Amazon Fire TV, so it's a Toshiba TV, and you can find it on my website. You can find all of this on my website, but it's a Toshiba TV that has Fire built in. So it has a remote that looks just like this that comes with the Fire Stick 4Ks. So I've got the exact same user experience for all my TVs. And the beauty of this too is that this is wireless. So if I want to pop another TV up somewhere and plug a Fire Stick 4K into it, I can do that. And I can watch all the same programming that I would from any of my other TVs. So it's the most exciting tech for me for 2019. And I know, again, a lot of y'all probably aren't stoked. It's like, man, I expected something better than that. And I would have expected something better too. But the fact that, number one, I've got this scar to remember when I discontinued a satellite dish. I've got that scarred as a constant reminder, so I'll never forget that day. But now what I've got, again, it led to the best user-friendly and uniform experience across all my TVs. And I don't have, again, I'm getting free over-the-air HD TV. And the only other thing I have for programming, I've got Sling, just their basic bundle. I think it's, like $30 US a month, which is pretty reasonable. I hope I shouldn't say it's reasonable because then they'll start trying to bump their prices up. But for no more than I watch TV, that was sufficient. And then I've got the free over the air for the local channels. And then on top of that, just because there are some shows that I watch. I did HBO and Showtime through Amazon Prime. So I think the Showtime was annual, and then the HBO was monthly, or I may have flip-flopped that. But that's just because there's a few shows I really like to watch. I like to watch Billions on Showtime. I like to watch Succession on HBO. I like to watch Ray Donovan, and those premium channels. I feel that since I could cancel at the end of any month, that I don't feel like that's a big thing. But it's a sigh of relief, because if you feel like you've been controlled by satellite and or TV providers, and you kind of break out of that, and then you discover something that, I'm not just cheapening up, but you've actually discovered something that's a better user experience. And again, that's what I discovered with the Amazon Fire TV, the Fire TV and the Fire Stick 4K. Because again, I've got one Fire TV and I've got two Fire Stick 4Ks, and it's awesome. And I know a lot of smart TVs have an integrated, Fire TV-esque interface. But man, this is so slick. It's simple. It's simple tech. Amazon's done it right, man. I mean, Amazon has really, like Amazon, hate Amazon, feel however you want to about Amazon, but Bezos has created an empire, and the only thing I regret, there's a few things I regret. I regret not buying Apple stock when Apple stock was around $1 a share. I regret not buying Amazon stock, not seeing the future with Amazon. Those are two big regrets that I have, and I'll never forget that. But and I also regret buying pretty heavily into GoPro before the GoPro Karma came out. But anyway, that lesson learned, and stuff happens. But yeah, so I hope that answers your question, Dale. This is my most exciting piece of tech from 2019, and what are y'all's most exciting pieces of tech from 2019? I want to get something I want to do is get a big screen so I can just like put it on the ceiling and just drop it down so I can read all the comments right there. So I'm using this iPhone. Crew says he's got to go. Keep in touch on, dude. I've already pulled up the webpage for Sling Studio, the streaming thing. And not to be confused with Sling TV, everyone, but Crew turned me on to Sling Studio, which is a YouTube live streaming tool. Kind of like what I'm using now. I'm using Wirecast right now, but Sling Studio is something that looks, to cut to the chase, it seems like it's going to be next level stuff, if that's still a hip term. See, I try to stay current with the terminology, but that's the thing. When you get older, you think you're cool and you think you know all the current lingo and this, that, and the other, and you really don't. And I try to stay as current as I can with all the hip stuff, but it's tough, man. It's tough. This stream, though, I tell you, one thing I am happy with Wirecast is that this stream has been rock solid. It really has been. Oh, speaking of another cool tech, and this is something that actually something I got for Christmas, and it was unexpectedly cool. It's the Amazon Show 8-inch, and I'll have to do a review of that. The thing that's blown my mind about it, I mean, it's people might look at it and say, oh, that's just a glorified alarm clock, but it's so much more than that. I mean, it's a beautiful display. You can sit there, like I've got it set up in my studio beside my computer, so if I want to watch something on YouTube while I'm working on stuff, I can do that, and I just watch it from the Echo Show. But it's got a really nice display. back to the uniform user experience that I was talking about with the Fire TV. That's something I've meshed in with my Fire TV. And you may not know this, but if you have Amazon Prime, and I don't know if this is the case for all new, if it's old subscribers or new subscribers. I've been with Amazon Prime for a long time, but I get unlimited photo storage with Amazon Photos. So what's cool about that is that I can store photos, and then the screensaver for my Fire TVs as well as my Echo Show, it shows the photos that I put there. So it's a very customized look that you get across all of your displays. So that's super cool. But yeah, we've got it is 9:19 New York City time, man. It is 9:19. We got the ball right here getting ready to drop, but it can't drop until midnight. So there's the ball. Got to do it on a budget, y'all. Got to do it on a budget. You got to do it on a budget. Yeah, just a reminder, these, to talk about the merch. IrixGuy Adventure Channel t-shirts. You can find them pinned within the chat comments. You can also go to Amazon and search for IrixGuy, and you can find where to order the IrixGuy Adventure Channel t-shirts there. I'm going to try to bring a lot of new swag in 2020. So, I've got, I don't know, I'm going to come up with some cool stuff, I hope. But man, I tell you, Sling Studio, y'all got me excited. I am just ready to nerd out and read about Sling Studio and watch YouTube videos about Sling Studio. And that's the thing, in my studio, I've got, again, good camera equipment. It's not top of the line, but it's, Afik says, are you married? Dude, I am married. I got a daughter, but I am batching it up right now. I'm just doing my thing. My productive evening. If I wasn't married, if I wasn't married, I'd be out at a bar. That's what I'd be doing. So, yeah, that I do not miss the bar days. That was a big expense, and it was fattening, So, you get married, man, you just don't have to. You just going to the bars and stuff is pretty much a thing of the past. So, that's a good thing. I'd rather exercise and make money than to go out and drink, spend money, and get fatter, But I don't know. That's personal preference. Whatever y'all enjoy doing. Whatever y'all enjoy doing. Man, this Wirecast though, this what I'm using now is Wirecast for this, and it's really holding strong. I did get one thing I did notice, my not lower third, but I'll call it my upper third, is way too big. And honestly, what I need to do is position that. Well, let's drag it over. Let's see if we can make this look a little bit cleaner here. Let's see what we can do with this. So I think that's obnoxiously large. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. Huh. See, now we've got, we do have it as the lower third. That's cool. See, it's transparent. You can see through New Year's. Ding-a-ding-a-ding. Yeah, that is cool. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm coming back with something. I am coming over there with something. Ha ha ha! Ha ha! Stay tuned. Hold on, I'm coming. I'm coming right back. I'm experiencing a technical difficulty here, but I'm on my way. I am on my way. Hello. Let's see, we got another comment here. My 2019 tech product to measure the speed of gun pellets. Very cool. Yeah, 2020 is going to be huge. New iPad Pro is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I tell you, this green screen is working well, though. Boo! That was too hot. That was too hot to have on my head. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the new iPad Pro, that ought to be... It makes me... You know what I wish Apple would do with their upcoming iPhones? I wish they would give it USB-C instead of Lightning. Lightning is such a goofy connector. And I know Lightning's everybody's probably got Lightning chargers and this, that, and the other, and craziness. Man. Take some more H2O. Quality H2O. It is 9:27 p.m. New York City time. 9:27. Oh yeah. Man, we got, let's see, we've been rolling for an hour and 37 minutes. This may be one of the longest live streams so far. And that's part of what I wanted to do. I wanted to test the stability of my studio for a longer duration live stream. And I think what we're seeing here is, and this is in 1080p. So in the past, I couldn't do 1080p. I would max out at 720p. Now I'm doing 1080p, and it's holding up pretty well. So that's, and actually this little camera right here, I've got a virtual zoom on it. It's a 4K camera, but it's zoomed in probably. I don't know. It's and I don't think it probably doesn't look grainy. Camera's there. I keep looking over there because my displays are over there. Exciting. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to actually, I've got some projects that I need to work on. Got some really cool stuff coming to the channel, so I'm going to do some of that tonight before before the ball drops. You know, the ball drops at midnight. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in again. If you choose to do so, you can support my channel on Patreon, patreon.com/IrixGuy. The easiest way to support my channel is just to tune into these live events, subscribe, like, share. Encourage everyone you know to subscribe, because it's going to take your support to break, to help me break 100,000 subscribers and beyond. Jaden tuned in. Welcome aboard, Jaden. Thanks for tuning in to the live show. It is 9:30 p.m. New York City time, so not too far from 2020. Hopefully 2020 will be an even more awesome year for everyone. And again, stay tuned here in 2020 for the webinar. That's going to be the big thing on IrixGuy's Adventure Channel in the first part of 2020 is the webinar, where I'm going to talk about YouTube and answer y'all's questions and really get in the trenches when it comes to YouTube success. So appreciate y'all's viewership. We're going to take care of some things, and if y'all haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. youtube.com/IrixGuy. Check out Amazon, or check the link within the chat. You can buy my t-shirts. Not my t-shirts, but the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel t-shirts. Or you just go to Amazon and search for IrixGuy, and you can find where to order them there. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. This was a live show, and it's about to come to a close.